at a time. Tonight, just all in this one setting. And again, this is not ideal because I am definitely in pain right now. And I've been having to take a lot of over-the-counter medicines, which are definitely affecting how I think and feel. Because this kind of pain slows me down drastically. However, I am going to go ahead and work with that anyway. Work with the situation as it is. And not be deterred. So, the next thing that I will just start singing, I'll just sing, and then I'll probably close a clip, and start another one, close a clip, start another one. You can see the time. I think you can see the time. Right now, I did spend a few moments doing other things, but it's 7:50. Really cannot see that very well, I guess. So I will put it up here in the forefront. Let's see if I can find something to give this a little leverage. Let's see. I might be able to work with something here. And another thing sometimes I would do is, take a book and just work on an interpretation of what's already written in the book. And sometimes that generates ideas too. Like I could, I don't really want to take something from this Russian book and do that right now, but some things that are already put together. Let me see. Maybe I'll do that and then go to another, just kind of impromptu song. I actually didn't do this sort of thing very much when I was a kid. I didn't just grab books, but occasionally I did. And worked on song ideas, especially with the Bible, because I had a Bible there with me. And when something is not rhyming at all, it's definitely different situation here. So I kind of just grabbed this this book here, the Iliad, Homer's Iliad, and ended up opening to page 113, which is talking at the very top about the little kingfisher. How interesting. So this is saying, I will show you the page. I don't know if you can really see that, but and it's the other side of it. So I'm just going to look at a section here, and I really don't even know that much about the Iliad, so I have no context for how I would interpret something like this. Okay, I think what I will do is I'm going to read this section right here to you. Alright? Alright. And I am learning here as I read this because I don't know anything about this. I think what I will do is first describe how I'll start with this kingfisher sentence and then go down to this one section that kind of coincides with the word generosity. The father and mother had a pet name for Cleopatra at home, the little kingfisher, because Marpessa had wept like a morning kingfisher when Phoebus Apollo Judifar, pardon me if I get all these Greek names incorrect and pronunciation, carried her off. Well, this was the wife Cleopatra, and Meleagros stayed by her side and nursed his blighting anger. He was angry with his mother because she had cursed him for killing her brother. She beat her hands on the earth, calling upon Hades and awful Persephonia, kneeling upon her knees and wetting her bosom with tears while she prayed them to give him death, the avenger that walks in darkness. That pitiless spirit heard her from Erebus. So then there was a din and tumult about the gates as the walls were assailed, and the Aetolian elders sent the chief priests of the place to beseech Meleagros to come out and help them with great promises. They asked him to choose a plot in the richest part of the Chalcedonian plain, 50 acres, half vineland, half cleared arable land for his own. Earnestly the old king Oeneus entreated him, standing on the threshold of his lofty chamber and shaking the 2 leaves of the door. I love that. Shaking the 2 leaves of the door. That's a great phrase. Just reading that here. Earnestly his sisters and his mother besought him, but he refused all the more. His companions, the truest and dearest of all, entreated too, but they could not move him until his chamber itself began to be battered, and the Curiatians were scaling the walls and setting fire to the great city. Then at last his own lovely wife entreated him with tears and recited all the horrors of a city taken by storm. How the men are slaughtered, the houses are burned to the ground, wives and children are driven away by strangers. Now his heart was torn to hear all these miseries. He put on his armor and went out. So his own feelings conquered him, and he saved his countrymen from the evil day. But he never received those splendid gifts, and he had to defend them after all. Now I pray you do not be of that mind yourself. Let not fortune turn you into that path, my dear. It would be worse to let the ships burn before you help. While gifts are to be had come, the people will honor you as if you were a god. But if without gifts you enter the battle, you will not have the same honor, even if you do save the day. Achilles answered, Phoenix, dear old daddy, this is not the honor I want. I think I should have been honored by the ordinance of Zeus, and that honor shall be mine in this fleet as long as the breath remains in my body, and as long as my limbs can move. But now just listen to me. Don't confuse my mind with lamentations and groans, to please the humor of my Lord King high and mighty. You ought not to be kind to him, or I shall hate you, and I am kind to you, so you ought to stand by me and vex anyone who vexes me. Be a prince with me, and take half my honor. These will take the message. You stay here for the night, and you shall have a soft bed. In the morning we will consider whether to go home or stay here. Okay, so this is a little section here on that page. And it's basically not knowing anything about the story. Basically talking about different concepts of honor and whether or not gifts are involved, and when to take a stand or not take a stand and to intervene in a situation. And so I guess what I could do is take one phrase here. I pray that you do not be of that mind yourself. And just sing it instead of reading it as I just read. Now I pray you do not be of that mind yourself. Let not fortune turn you into that path, my dear. It would be worse to let the ships burn before you help while gifts are to be had. Come, the people will honor you as if you were a god. But if without gifts you enter the battle, you will not have the same honor, even if you save the day. It would be worse to let the ships burn before you help, while gifts are to be had. Gladly come, the people will honor you as if you were a god. It would be worse to let the ships burn. It would be worse to let the ships burn. Oh, do not be of that same mind. This time. Do not turn on to that path. Okay, so I sang this phrase that is not rhyming at all in this book. And then reaching for some kind of emotion or whatever, started belting out one section of it. And to see if that generates like a further idea. Which it could. So, I'm going to put this book up. And, I heard your cry, I heard your cry, and I've come to save you now. I'm a little late. I had to wait for someone to untie my hands. I heard your cries, I heard them loud, and I am coming to rescue you now. And if you see me at the gate, you can't turn me down. You can't turn me down. This is my fate. If you ever thought you had a chance, a prayer to be saved, don't let the howling soothsayers tell you things that are untrue. I heard your cry, I heard them loud, and I know someone else has heard me in my request to the ones who